What's up, y'all? I'm back. Decided to go ahead and do this video tonight. I wanted to do it earlier because today was my day off, but my babies got all in the way of today's schedule, and I ended up cleaning up my room. And it's hard to clean up a room when they around, messing it up. And we getting over our second or third cold of this winter, so today's just been a drag, but I decided to find the energy to go ahead and record this video tonight before I got comfortable in my bed to watch me a nice little scary movie. And I finally put them to bed. So I can do it. Let me see. On my scalp. But yeah, y'all, based off of my last video or my introductory video, this video is just gonna start. Basically, I think I can wrap up a summary of my upbringing all the way to now in one video. I don't think I'm going to have to drag that along multiple videos because I don't want to stay too long dreading on those parts of my life, right? I just kind of want to give us an analysis of what I went through here and there, ups and downs, and how I got through and get to here so we can focus on the now and moving forward and the positive moments and my family moments and all of that. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do today or tonight. It is, what time is it? Over here in South Carolina, it's 11:20 p.m. So I think I said before that your girl, was born in Natchez, Mississippi. Born and raised. I didn't leave Natchez until I was like, what, 9, 10 years old? Yeah. I lived there for about 9, 10 years before I finally left and had no plans of ever going back. But I did end up going back. I went back to visit family here and there. Did not want to, but I did. Um, but if I ever was to say I would live in Mississippi again, hell no. Hell no. 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 That's how I feel about Mississippi. Hell no. Oh shit, I'm so sick. Excuse me, y'all. When your baby's in daycare, they bring all kinds of mess back to you. You got the whole house sick. But we healing up real good. And they should be back in. I done took them out of daycare. Because my baby girl had got a fever, so I took her out of daycare. And they'll all be going back on Monday. Then I can have my time to myself before I go to work. Yeah. So born and raised in Natchez, Mississippi. Yeah. Um, my dad. Let's just get to the meat, beans, and potatoes of the whole story. My father was pretty much the problem cause of my childhood. He was he was a monster, and there was days he didn't try to be, but he was, and he couldn't help it because he was an alcoholic and a big drug addict. I'm not sure what all drugs my father was on, but I know he was definitely a crackhead. I hate to say it, but he was a crackhead. My father smoked crack like a motherfucker. I'm trying not to cuss, God, please. I mean, I know because one day I had, kids, you moving around, running around, and I picked my father's hat up. He always wore caps, hats, whatever you try to call them, those kind of hats. And he had his little glass pipe. I didn't know what it was at the time, but when I think about it as an adult now I realize what it was. That was that motherfucking crack pipe. But yeah, that's what was underneath the hat. And boy, he slapped it out my hand and slapped me in my damn face so quick. So I knew never to pick his hat up again, long story short. But yes, he was those that's one of the drugs he did. And he was always drinking a Colt 45. Always. Maybe he had like two at the least with him. He always drunk down a big ass thing of Colt 45 in that little brown paper bag. Okay. Try to make sure they don't wake up. So it was very rare to have a very calm, quiet day. I'm just gonna say it like that. It was rare to have a calm, quiet day. And when I say that, I mean, by the way, let me say this real quick. Remember that I'm writing a book. So that's another reason I'm not going to give too much information on the video because if I do actually finish through with this book, I'm going to want to advertise it with these videos and actually publish it and have someone read it. So if I tell it all here on the video, you're not going to even want to read the book. You're not going to even feel a need to read the book. So I'm just going to give a few snippets of the past and tell all the real juicy details in the book. Um, and that way, you can get a glimpse of, dang, this is what it was. Okay, well, let me read this book and find out the real deal. But yeah, so it was rare to have a very normal, calm day. There was always some point in time in the household where it was just loud. You can hear a lot of screaming and fighting. You can hear a lot of thumping. You can hear inappropriate sounds. Just daytime was always fighting. Nighttime, you hear things you just shouldn't hear as a child. And mm, it was me, my sister, about three aunties, because I'm not gonna call nobody's name, about three cousins, my mother, my grandmother, and my father. So a house about 10 people, 10, 11 people, if I'm counting right, if I'm thinking right. Um, and the family tree is a weird one. It's because all I'm gonna say is I was born out of incest in a way. I'll put it that way. So, um, yeah, my father was trifling. He was trifling. And he was a military man. He retired, and he couldn't take care of his family because he was a drug addict, and he was just anytime he had money, it went right to drugs. I remember he would try to do kind things, and he would give me and my sister money. I remember I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my God, my daddy gave us $100 bill." I was like, what, 6, 7, maybe even 8. I don't know. And y'all, when I say it, it wouldn't even be 5 whole minutes go by. Me and my sister happy as hell. We got that money in our hand, like, oh, we finally gonna go to the mall. And they're gonna come right back around and be like, "I'm sorry, baby, daddy need that. Let me get that back. Let me, nigga, what?" Oh, again, laugh to keep from crying. But honestly, today, in these days, I can laugh about it now. Even some days in my teen years, I could laugh about it because we had finally left that situation. But like I said, you don't realize how bad something affects you until much later in life, right? So it's just bad. He had bad drug problems, bad drug problems. And I know there was a deep part on the inside of him that wished he could kick it. Because again, just like what I explained, trying to give your children money and do something nice for them, but your addiction is that bad, you can't even hold to your promise. You got to snatch it back like that. But you tried, at least, right? You tried. Ah, he did that so many times. Hand you a five, take it back. Hand you a 20, take it back. Hand you a couple of dollars, take it back. We had finally got $100 bill in our hands. You know, like you're not gonna take this back, right? You're not gonna do that to us. Took that shit back. So yeah, I saw my mother's face too. That shit pissed her off. She couldn't say anything. She didn't say anything because she didn't want to start no problems with him. That is not a man you want to piss off. Okay, or it's gonna be instant physical abuse, shit like that, right? But she just had that look on her face like, why the fuck would you crush my children like that? Why would you get them excited like that just to take that back from them? And it hurt me seeing my mama always hurt like that. But what could you do when you got a controlling man who abused all the women in the household? Like, a lot of people later on in the family, as people started to figure out the things that was going on, right? They asked another reason I don't like going back to Mississippi because family members who aren't in your shoes or wasn't in anyone else's shoes in the household will question you like it's so easy. Like, why didn't y'all just call the cops? Why didn't y'all just do something? Why did y'all just let that happen? Like, well, fear is a motherfucker. Fear, you're not the one getting brutally beaten to the floor. I saw the women in the household that was older than me and my sister, my aunts, and others. I saw them on the floor, bloody. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that was on a day to day basis. Like I said, it was rare. We had a cool, calm moment in that household. I saw, and you could always hear when everything was about to start up. So PTSD, you could tell when there was about to be a problem. Sometimes it came out the blue. There were nights in the middle of the night we woke up to it. Like we didn't know what was going on. We just hearing screaming, me and my sister waking up. And there was also moments we woke up to him waking us up, yelling at us, telling us we about to get our ass whooped because we're in here eavesdropping. No, motherfucker, we're in here sleeping. But because you're out of it right now, you're saying we're in here eavesdropping. And so we're supposed to know to just go to the back. We're supposed to get out of our bed at 3, 4 in the morning when we hear y'all fighting and go to the back of the house and just wait until it's all over. That's like that became routine. So then days after that first incident, me and my sister then learned to wake up. Oh snap, we hear them fighting, and then just get up and go in the back and cry and pray and just wait till it's over and turn the TV on loud. That became a regular norm. Yeah. And if not, he's just gonna assume that we're in bed eavesdropping, even though we probably are just dead ass asleep and we ain't woke up to hear it yet. So then we would get our ASS beat for just trying to sleep. So, um, and mind you, when I say they're fighting, I don't mean the wife and the husband are fighting. I mean he is attacking people. People ain't fighting. He's yelling and screaming, and you can hear hitting and beating, and people are screaming and crying. He's attacking people. No one's fighting him. He's the fighter. He's the monster. He's the attacker. No one would fight that man. So they were too scared to because when I say my father got when he got high enough and out of control, or if he wasn't high at all and he really needed his high, now you're just angry and frustrated because you need a hit type of situation. It was that you wanted to stay out of his way. Nothing would could calm him down. From what I can recall, what I can remember, that man just was he could kill you if you weren't cautious enough of how to avoid certain triggers of him. He would probably kill you. He would grab metal objects and hit my family members with them. He would grab broomsticks and break them across people's backs. He would. Mhm. He was terrible. So, real quick, because I was about to explain how other family members ask you, why did y'all do this? Why did y'all do that? I haven't forgot that I was about to explain that. But um, this is why it's also hard telling this stuff because it's so many thoughts. It's hard to keep up without getting all carried off trail, you know. But um, I was about to say something. Shit, what was it? What was it? What was it? It'll come back to me. Let me just go ahead and say what I was about to say. Um, so yeah, when you got family members later on in life, after we finally got out of it and we decided to go back to Mississippi and visit certain people, which I did not want to do, but I was told that family is important, so we went back. Yeah, that really rubbed me the wrong way when I was asked. You know, like somebody could have done something. You don't think we tried? You don't think we tried to do things like leave or call the cops? There's a story where me, as young as I was, I snuck and called the cops, but I did it like secretively. I didn't want anyone to know I called the cops. I just called 911. It rung and I hung it up. One of them slick ass moves. And they called back. Shit. Story for another day, man. They called back. But yeah, I told her, I said, you don't think we tried to do things here and there, but you got to understand fear. Fear is a very strong thing. It's a very strong thing. And if you're not the one in that situation, just please don't be so quick to talk because you'd be surprised how you become stagnant. It's almost like you can't statuified, like you can't even move depending on certain situations you're in. Fear will cause you to just do some dumb stuff. You'll stay there way longer than you intend to stay in a situation. Um, yeah, and I've heard stories because you got to remember I was a kid. This was going on even before I was born with my family. Um, I've heard stories of where my grandmother tried to leave. But yes, I said my grandmother because that is his wife. That's my father's wife. Put it together in your head. Um, and his reaction after that, she never tried to leave again. I think she ran away. Bothered me because the way the story went, she left her children behind. She just tried to leave the house, and she was, just running. She was hauling ass out the house. She was running, 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 and that man picked up a vase, threw it. I'm talking about football champion ass skills, and threw that vase all the way, and it struck my grandmother in the back of her head. And my aunts say that that is the day that she was never the same mentally. When she hit the ground, she stopped moving. Like that vase took her out. She was alive. But ever since that day, they said something was just different about her. So, um, yeah. So again, that was an attempt of her trying to leave. She had ran. Her brothers would come up there and try to check my father on about his ways and how they could know he was doing this and that to her, but that didn't stop him. And that's something I said to people when they asked me that. I was like, and all while you're asking me that, y'all also knew. Y'all knew too. And I think y'all could have done more than what y'all did as well. Right? You know. And mind you, this is one of my cousins I was talking to. And she was just like, well, I mean, we tried. I know my daddy, he went down there, he said a few words to him. You're right. I told her, you're right. But he tried, he did his part. We tried. Apparently people tried to leave. Sometimes it's just not enough. Some people they take the hand of God to stop and start certain things in your life. I realize that sometimes things should just run its course. Just it is what it is. But thank God that ran its course because my father was hell to deal with. He was. I always tell my mother, I don't know how the hell she's alive today. I really don't. Or my grandmother for that matter. I don't know how they are alive today, especially my grandmother. But I try not to put no one's burdens over the other. But if you know the story the way I know the story, mhm, yeah. So all of that to say, I think my father and oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember there was something else I forgot before I was going to explain about trying to explain to my cousin about how people could have helped and how fear will cause you to be stuck in certain situations. Um, my thought blanked out again. I'm, this is, y'all see how hard this is for me. I'm sorry. Just, this is what talking about that shit does to me. I'm not going to even stop the video. I'm just going to let it keep playing. It's hard to process my thoughts on this stuff. Mm, that's what I was going to say. Um, you know how people say it's hard for women growing up without a father. It makes it so hard for them when they're trying to date men. So imagine if you had a father who was there, because he was there the whole way in my life, in my childhood. But you had one like that. Now you would think it's like, okay, yeah, but you can clearly see that ain't the kind of man you want to date. True, but it's something about that psychological factor and what you are used to when it comes to trauma that somehow we end up just choosing those type of men. I don't know. I'm not gonna even sit here and act like I can explain it. Not gonna try to. But as I've grown up, I've realized dumbass got a way of picking dumbass men. And I had to break that cycle. I did it twice. I was not gonna make and in between those two, those main two, there were a few stragglers I talked to who were terrible. Like just like what the fuck. So this last one I just dated was the last. I ain't talking to nobody else after that. Done. I'm just done dating. I refuse to make another. Yeah, I can't deal with no more. Okay. Um, my first dude I dated, I had married, and he was like a year younger than me or whatever, and he was physically abusive. Like, I mean, he lost it and beat me to the floor and put a hole in the wall and dislocated my finger. Type of abusive. I just had a bruise or two on my head and on my chest when you could tell he wanted to punch the shit out of me because he took his fist like this and pushed it into my chest, and I hit the refrigerator. That was what he did on a separate day. And then there was another day he lost it and just like pounded me to the floor, and I was covered up like in fetal position, dislocated my finger and all that. And that was the day that I just couldn't take no more. I said, "All right, bro, you bugging." Once it got to you actually put me on the floor, mind you, I was on top of some dog shit because I had Cody at the time, my dog. You beating me on some dog shit? Laugh to keep from crying. So, yeah. Then that, um, let me try to process some thoughts before I just keep talking. I was the first one, and I had noticed he had some similar ways like my father. Those were red flags I ignored. Um, he's also the one where I had simply asked him to leave my household and he wouldn't. And because of how I known he had gotten physical with me prior to beating me to the floor like that, mind you. No, that was after. That was after. This was after. Yeah, because he came back to my house and I was trying to make him leave. Came back to my home and I had a knife and I knew I wasn't going to use it, but I just wanted to put some fear in him, which did not work at all. Said leave my house. I wasn't swiping it at him. I wasn't doing none of that. I said I got a knife. I know you like to put hands on people. You should not be here. Please leave. That dude walked right up to me and punched me in my face with the knife in my hand. I got up. I still didn't use the knife. I said, "Wow, bro, you really got some issues." And I grabbed the phone and called the cops. At this time, I was active duty. When I say them cops came there, they talked to me, then they talked to him. And the folks came back to me and put cuffs on me and took my ass to jail. Well, I was I was hot. I was hot that day. Well, I was a pissed bitch. Y'all. I was so mad. I was so hurt. It's different stuff I was going through. Like, how the fuck? How is this my fault? Y'all supposed to be protecting me. But once I realized after a while, I learned, I said, you gotta be careful. I was told you gotta be careful with cops because they found out you military, they'll come for you real quick. They won't even care. They try to it's something about military. They prefer to arrest the military personnel. And I think it's because they just take you right to your on base to your people. They ain't even gotta put up with you in the jail cell. So at their station, they just take you to your chain of command. So so yeah. The marriage was like the most that first marriage. Well, that was the only marriage, but that first relationship that was the most physical. I was the one that was physically abusive more than anything. The second relationship, which was not a marriage, it was just a 4 year long relationship, and I got my two beautiful babies out of that relationship. That one was mainly it did get physical. He put his hands on me too, but it was nothing like it was one time with him. Although the times don't matter, there was a physical moment with him, but everything else was just mental and emotional, mentally and emotionally abusive as hell. He's the type where with Jared, at least Jared would say to my face that he was going to do this or do that. You, I don't care how you feel, blah blah blah. He was real trifling. Jared, he started off real cool. Like you would have never thought he was like that when you saw him. He wore suits. He dressed so nice. He was clean cut, professional businessman. You would have never thought Jared. I'm trying not to say his name. You would have never thought he was like that. But as time went on, homeboy switched up. Same for this dude. At least the dude in my marriage told me straight up that how he felt and what he was gonna do. The guy of the second relationship, everything was just lies. Everything was just, I love you, I care about you, I would never, I got you, I'm gonna help you with this, I'm gonna help you with that. Although I didn't need the help, I'm gonna be a man, I got you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But it was never. I mean, okay. Oh, you cheated on me. Okay, all right. Well, let's see if you do better. Oh, okay, you lost your job. Okay. Oh, you cheated again. Oh, okay. I smell the pussy on your breath. Oh, okay, and you trying to kiss me? No. Oh, I mean, it just no matter how much he said that he talked such a good game. The actions were shit. The actions were pure shit. Like just and the game of talking, his talk game was so superb that it just you always found the reason to be like, all right, let me see how this goes. Let me hold on for about another month or two. And whoever tried to call me stupid for it, you can do that. That's fine. I was stupid. I was very stupid. Um, but what I'm hoping someone can be real enough to say or see in this and all of these little talks is a lot of us women are. Some of you just ain't gonna admit it, but a lot of us women are. We've had those moments. Some are smart enough to get out way quicker than others, while others will stay there so long. It's people who just stayed in them situations 8 to 10 years. Whereas I had to draw my luck at four. I said I could not. I couldn't. So, yeah, he was a good talker, and I had some crazy scares in that second relationship. Um, and so I look at all of that and I look at how my father was, and then I look at the kind of man I chose, and I'm like, dang, Class, how did you do this? when you can clearly see. I mean, how did you ignore the red flags? Is I guess is what I'm trying to. I would ask myself, how did you want to be like your grandmother? You want to be, you know, how did you not dodge this? You were raised up in a situation that you promised yourself you would never want to ever live back in again, and you dated men who put you back in those situations. Drugs as well, because the first guy he loved weed, but the second guy he liked other things. So yeah, I found myself back living like I was, 5 to 10 years old, and it took me a while to actually process what was going on. Like, dang, Clash, you've lost yourself. Wake up. Look around. Don't you see, baby? The devil got you. The devil got you hard. Wake up. And yeah. Ooh. All right. Let me, because I feel myself starting to get emotional. So give me a few. But I didn't mean to jump so quickly from my childhood to the men I dated. But honestly, I was trying to make that connection with the men in your children's lives. They're so important. And I'm not going to just blame it on my father. Although, let's be real, in black families, that shit's important. I don't care how you try to spin it. The father is important. And this is why they say sometimes it's better off that the father, if he ain't good enough, it's best that he just ain't there. Because if he cannot set a good example for your children, don't let him just linger around doing what he want to do around them kids, like them kids ain't picking up everything that's going on. Because they are. Because they are. You see how at the time when I was a kid, I didn't even know what that little glass pipe was that I picked up. But now that I'm an adult and got the shit slapped out of myself for it, a triggering point that I can actually remember, you see, I can think back and be like, I know exactly what that was now. Mm, nigga smoking crack. But anyway, all that to say, yeah, this kind of stuff matters. It really matters. Yeah. But my father was, yeah, he had some loose bolts up there, and he just couldn't get it right. And it eventually got to the point where my mother was bold and brave enough to sneak us out. We packed about like 2 outfits and a bag. That's what she told us to do that morning. She woke us up and she had us stay quiet. She packed. She had us pack 2 outfits in a bag, me and my sister, and she had us waiting. And we snuck out the front door, nice and quiet. She left a long note on the table in the living room. And I know it was a note to my daddy. I didn't even have to ask. I know she made it very clear. It was a long note. And we snuck out that front door and left in a vehicle that didn't even have no working brakes. And miraculously that day, them brakes was working. Thank you, God. We went to Walmart. We made a phone call, or my mom. She was trying to talk to some. She was trying to talk to my aunt who was helping us get out of there, and something happened. They were having difficulties, and the phone just cut off. I guess you only have so much time to talk. I don't know. And my mama, she said she slammed the phone. She slammed the phone back on the hook, and we went somewhere. I think we went after that to the bus station. So, because we only had so much money and stuff. Probably she was just trying to make it work so we could get the fuck out of there. Because all she knew is that once we left, we could not go back. If we went back, that man was probably gonna kill my mom. So, mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Um, we made it to the bus station, and I kept seeing my mom go through all these different emotions on her face. She just, one minute she was smiling and happy with us, just talking and stuff. You could tell she was just trying to keep our heads off of what was really going on. But me and my sister was so smart. We knew. We was just analyzing her, trying to make sure she was good too, without trying to say anything. And then there was times she just stared off into the distance, and she just would get teary eyed, and you could tell she couldn't fight the emotions because so much was hitting her at once. Like, I'm really doing this. God, I hope I'm doing the right thing. Mom, you definitely did the right thing. You definitely did the right thing. Please don't ever second guess that. And I'm sure she knows that now. But shit, I told myself I wasn't gonna fucking cry. I don't think, I just wish people could understand. That was a pivotal moment in my life. What my mama did for us and for herself. That was a pivotal moment because that man, it's like I can't even find the words to explain it properly. I cannot explain it properly. I don't even know why I tried. That's why I wanted to do this because it would help me get my thoughts out, but I can't even do it right. I can't do it right. So as I go through this, y'all might see a lot of weird ass up and downs, but I'm gonna be transparent. It is what it is. This is, I just need to. Mm. Anyway, let me focus on the good moments. We got to South Carolina, where I am now, but we were in Sumter because that's where my aunt was staying. That's where the bus station took us. We moved down there with her, and that was the first time we knew anything of a normal life. Like, I mean, mm, we were so happy. Me and my sister. It took some getting used to, but we were so happy. Um, Things were so much better. It was weird. We didn't have to ask permission to go in the refrigerator to get something to eat. We didn't have to like stay in the back of the house at moments. We could wake up when we want to. We could come out of our room when we wanted to. We could, you feel what I'm saying? It was just small, it's those small little differences that made such a big deal. Like wow, it's those small little things that make you realize how you was really living. And I saw my mama at peace. I mean, she had moments where I'm sure she cried to herself in private, still in shock. But it was just whoa. My mama was preparing to go into the army, and she did just that. And we eventually end up staying with another young lady because my aunt was also in the military, and I believe she ended up having to probably relocate. I'll just put it that way. Because we had some issues there too. You know, families have bump heads. So we ended up staying with another woman. There was a lot of moving, a lot of moving. And this woman, she meant well, but although she treated me and my sister, she like favoritized my sister over me. It was weird. She was like really like bully like to me. But I handled it well. I was getting bullied at that school I was at real bad. Oh, I will not forget that. That bullying took me through something, boy. That toughened me up. Um, but I'm sure you can see just all the constant changes and transformations I was going through in my childhood. It's like, damn, it's hard to keep your head right when you're going through stuff like that. Staying level, really hard. And then I had a lot of depressing moments too. And whereas, I don't know if it's just black families, I don't want to just put a racial thing on it, but you just taught to look over shit. You taught to suck it up. This got to be done. You'll be all right. Instead of really pay attention to make sure if somebody's okay. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's kind of what I was dealing with, but I was just sucking it up. We stayed with that woman until my mama graduated from basic training. And when we went to see, I forgot where we went to go see my mama graduate basic training. I forgot where it was at. Oh my God, I couldn't even recognize my mama, y'all. She was thin and she lost so much weight. She was in shape. All this stress and weight was off of her face. Years was off of her face. My mama looked like she had lost 10 years of age. She was she was stunning. I will never forget that day. And ever since that day, my mama has kept that glow. The military was just my mama took off with the military. She had a different hunger for that career. When you have a past like hers, when you come from where she come from, it's a different kind of drive. You get what I'm saying? So I was so proud of her. And after she graduated, soon she then we went to Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas, and we eventually moved in with our mom. So now picture it. This is my first time, me and my sister's first time living with our mom. We actually are in our own home, got our own bedrooms, just happy and at peace living with our mom. No abuse, no angry dad, no, you feel me? Finally, we are the one little small big happy family we always wanted to be. This is when things in life was just right, you know. Oh my God. And I loved my school in El Paso, Texas. I went to like Bassett Middle School or something like that. Yeah, Bassett Middle School. We eventually moved again, and I went to Enterprise High School. Enterprise was the shit. Yo, I loved Enterprise. I had some good friends. I think I stayed there the longest for like 4 years. I loved Enterprise. Um, and then I ended up moving to Germany, but that was for my last year of high school, senior year of high school. Germany was the shit. Germany was it. Okay. I would live in Germany like for the rest of my life. If I could live and never leave, Germany would be it. Um, and I had some really good friends there too. Yeah, but you live and learn and you grow. So after graduation, I then went to college, Morgan State University. I went back to the States and I attended Morgan State University where I did ROTC, um, and I did my bachelor's in family and consumer sciences. And I graduated and commissioned from Morgan in 2017. Yeah, 2013, 14. Yeah. So I got my degree and I became a military officer. This is where shit started hitting the fan, y'all. Okay. This is where shit started hitting the fan. So I finally, I don't even want to talk about it. You can tell I do. But I'm going to. I'm gonna get this shit off my chest. So I had finally, I had finally graduated commission, and I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, where I had Cbolic. Cbolic is chemical because that was my MOS. 74 Alpha was a chemical CBurn soldier, and it was a chemical basic officer leadership course. I think. Yeah, forgive me if I said it wrong, because military people are so uptight about everything. Got tired of that shit. So, yeah, I did that and I had a real bad experience because that's where my sexual assault took place. And it was by a very much trusted battle buddy. I ain't gonna say his name. There was a case on it. I thought I could trust him. He was always in my room. He was an older white guy, mind you, an older white guy, and got to be more careful. Um, we were always studying together. We were always hanging out. We was always chill, just vibing. We was really that was my buddy. That was my dude. If you one thing people have always said about me, I have an old soul. I've gotten that even as a teenager, as a kid. All my friends in high school used to tell me that, even in middle school. Like I was just like that. You know, like you, they could like you, auntie. They used to call me auntie and stuff like that. I just looked out for people, and I got that motherly spirit. So I naturally gravitate and get along with older people. The dude I dated, the second relationship, he was 15 years older than me. So, and the first one was like 1 year younger than me at the time. So, yeah, um, I got along well with my battle buddy. And one time, you know how your class all gets together and decide to hang out and have a good kumbaya ass moment. Yeah, we was drinking at the bar at the hotel that I was staying at, and he helped me come back to my room. He looked out for me when I came back to my room because I was drunk. I was feeling good, and I passed out. Went to sleep. I passed out, and I woke up all dizzy and daisy eyed and could feel some moving behind me. And this dude was behind me, sexually assaulting me. Like, you know, you're on your side and somebody's behind you on your side, and they're, yeah, yeah, this dude was just having a good old time. I said, yo, what are you doing? When he realized I started to wake up, before I even said that, he realized because you know, I started turning, I started looking, and he slowed down. He realized I was waking up, so he slowed down. He came to a slow halt. And I said, I called his name. I was like, what are you doing? And he still holding my side and stuff while he behind me. He's like, Cliss, I'm so sorry. You're so beautiful. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. All right. All right. That gives you a reason. Oh, okay. All right. So I kindly, cool, calm, collectedly got up, got out of bed. I said, I, I gotta be careful because I don't want to say too much, but long story short, I told him this ain't cool. I didn't ask you for all this. I didn't. Any other time you've been with me or in my room and vibing, it ain't never been on this kind of level. What makes you think now this would be, you know, especially while I'm drunk, and then you just decide to, nah, man. I thought I could trust you on the real, real. So asked him to leave, and he on his way out, and he stopped one more time, and he turned around to me. This when I really knew he was worried. Rice, please don't say anything to anybody. I'm so fucking sorry, dude. Please don't do that begging and pleading. I called his name again. I said, "You good, man? You good? Go on." Now you know, ladies, if you've ever been in a situation like that, you know deep in your head it's not all good. You trying to be cool. You trying to be like process it. You like this shit ain't cool. This ain't cool. But I did keep my mouth quiet about it for a while. I didn't say anything. I was so off focus after that. I repeated that Bolic cycle. I couldn't even pass my fucking last test, and I had to repeat Bolic. Hmm. So that was that story with Bolic, and then eventually I graduated the next class, and I went to my first duty station, and I had a hell of a hard time, a hell of a hard time at my first duty station. I could not get along with my chain of command. And when I say get along, it's not like we were butting heads, like having problems. I just couldn't fit in. I was like the only black female, number one, in a 1-4 cav unit. They were assholes. Y'all, they were assholes. It's one thing when they say Like, oh, it's this way in ROTC, but when you get in the real world, in the real army, the real world is different. Yeah, I get that. I know that. I'm sure it is. But I didn't think it would be that different, y'all. They were so fucking mean and cruel to me. What happened to we're a team and we will help you learn together? LT, we know you're new and you're still learning everything. We'll help you. I'm your NCO. What happened to all of that? What happened to like I'm getting flashbacks right now that just make me want to start throwing fists. I got so angry I wanted to blow that fucking 1-4 building up, squadron up. I wanted to blow them up. But I tried my best. That's all I'm gonna say. I tried my best. And long story short, there's so much I want to say that I can't say. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't say everything because there's some things I'm working towards in the future goals that I'm not trying to mess up. So even on this video right now that's publicly posted, I gotta be careful what I say. Put it that way. But yeah, like y'all, it was like maybe two, three people I can remember that was truly genuine to me and actually wanted to help me. Other than that, everyone else just saw me as a butterball LT. Can't spell lost without LT. Like they really I heard all the jokes, but they really fucking treated me like that. When I got there, they made sure I wasn't shit. And it stuck. They made sure that I was gonna feel worthless. And it worked. And that's why I said in the first video, if y'all know me, I'm a confident, cool ass chick. I love putting light on other people, helping other people, and they succeeded in breaking me. I hate to say that, but they did. They did. The military, they hurt me. They hurt me. They hurt me so bad. No matter how much I tried to improve, they, and I'm talking about, you notice I'm saying a lot without saying much. Because I didn't even have enough time. I was only in 2 years. Not much happened. That much happened in so little time. That much disrespect to me and not enough effort, so they would say, for me, happened in so little time that I made sure it was time for me to get the hell out of there. I made it very clear. This is what it's going to be. I made a mistake. Fuck this contract, take it. And I meant that. I said my mental health is not worth this shit. And I meant that. I meant that on everything I stood on. I said, I don't care how y'all judge me, how you feel about me. At the end of the day, I know who I am, and this is not going to be safe. And then I was supposed to go to Poland. If this is how my unit's treating me, I'm not about to spend a year in Poland with you. I might not make it back. It was getting that real. It was getting suicidal real. On top of what I just told y'all of what I deal with and where I come from, mind you, um, my father used to always say about my aunts and them who all left the house and went to the military. The only one who wasn't allowed to leave and go to the military right away was my mother because he would always try to keep her. He literally tried to control my mom, and he did. She couldn't do what she wanted to do. You're not allowed to leave the house. You better come back at a certain time. If you're not here yet, that mean you out there talking to some man. Like he treated her like she was his woman. You forgetting she was not that to you. Hint, hint. My grandmother was his woman. Do the math. So it's yeah. Um, he always used to tell him like they ain't gonna last in the military. They're not gonna last like 5 damn seconds. He used to say stuff like that. He was a very demeaning ass type of person. He was a snob. He was just an asshole. And to see that they all did so well, all of them. One of them is retired. Another one's about to retire. My mom is gonna retire in about a year or so. My sister is thriving. I was the only one who went the officer route, like right out of college, right? Everyone was so proud of me for that, right? This is something else I struggle with. And soon as I go in, I can't even get through it. Like I'm just hit with all these problems all of a sudden. I'm hit with all of this. all of these fuck ups. Like, what is going on? Like, I kept praying to God. I kept trying to straighten up. I would go for jogs, trying to get my mind right. Let's not forget, I was dealing with my husband at that time. I was married too. So there's that distraction, the bullshit at home I was dealing with. And mind you, he wasn't physically abusive right in the beginning of everything. But this is when I started noticing the red flags while I'm also dealing with my bullshit at work. And I think he was cheating on me with a girl right above us. She was a college student. I also think he was gay because he had a little gay boy in there when I came home unannounced one day. Like I came home early from work and I walked in and there was this gay boy. They was sitting there on the playing my PS4. Nigga, what? Nigga? I stopped. I had the dope and I looked like, all right. He was like, "What's up?" You can tell when the nigga got that look on his face, like, oh shit. But they try to keep their face. And I'm sitting there looking like, yeah, you're caught. Again, I'm a real chill ass sister. I'm not judgmental. I just hope you talk to me. Tell me. Don't have me out here looking stupid and looking lost. Just talk to me. I am not the judgmental type. I'm not. I would never wish that shit on nobody to do to me, even though that's all I get. But the things I've asked for and given to people, I can't never get in return. That's something I've noticed. But it's because I've allowed it. And finally, I've stopped allowing it. And things have just been going up ever since then. So there's that. But yeah, I was married dealing with that mess too while in service. And so it eventually came to a point where mm, I think I'm going to save all that for my book too. I did something and I got myself out. And I made sure I was mentally evaluated because they took me through some shit. And I did what I had to do and got myself out the way I got myself out. And I'm currently waiting to see. Um, I'm dealing with the Army Review Board, working on some changes on some things, but things are going well in that department. So I'll just leave it there. I won't say too much. As I got out, I immediately worked on getting another job, which was case management. I became a mental health case manager. I loved that job. But then I was done with that marriage. I was pending a divorce, but that's when I met the second guy. As you see, it doesn't sound like I gave myself much time to heal and release and think before I act. Nah, it sound like I just went to another dude, right? Yeah, that's what my dumb ass did. I was still hurting from the last relationship and probably still hurting from other traumas that I don't even realize I'm dealing with. And here I am dating this guy. Now this guy had the devil written all on him. He was literally just like my dad. He drunk Colt 45s just like him. He had drug problems just like him. I didn't see all of this right away, right? But he showed me the good signs first, as always. That's what they do. Um, but I learned this slowly, and I learned it in enough time to where I saw it, and I should have known this is where I should back out. But you know, let me give him a try. And so I gave him a try, and I got tried. Um, Yeah, he was just like my father in so many different ways. He was from Mississippi too, and that's something where we connected because he reminded me like a lot of my family, And you know how they say when you missing that true fatherly love, you look for it in the man that you date. That's something that they say. I don't know how true it is, but it damn sure seems true, don't it? So fast forward, you see that didn't work out. I dealt with a lot in that relationship. He took me through. I've never in my life had so many moments where it's just obvious that you doing me dogging me, you doing me wrong, and you just keep denying it. Like I ain't never seen nobody. I know people lie, y'all, but I ain't never seen nobody lie so bad to the point like I'm trying to think of what I can do as a good example. Like if I take this and I just this bottle of peroxide and I just drop the shit right on the floor in front of you. Did you just drop that shit? You just dropped my peroxide? No. Like that's the kind of shit he would do. Oh, let me lower my voice on, baby. Wait, that's the kind of shit he would do. That man would lie to me in my face, like I was just the dumbest little girl. And like I said, he was much older, and I think that's how he saw me. He treated me like I would like I just was nothing. I could tell every woman he got in his life, he just was happy he got her because he looking for the next one to live and lay off of. Yeah, and that's what he did. Like I said, I ain't here to be sweet talking. I'm gonna give it to it real. I done went through some shit, and I took myself through that shit because I slept on myself hard. But you can believe that's over. So, oh man, I gotta take some more medicine. Oh, y'all. Mm, 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 mm. Of course, there's a lot more bits of information in the midst of all of that, but like I said, it'd be way too much to talk about it, and I decided to squeeze all this into one video, and this shit already been an hour, so ooh wee. And I know ain't nobody gonna sit there for no whole damn hour, but it's there for anybody who ever want to just take the chance to watch it. And guess what? I got to vent and release, and that makes me feel good. And some of my reactions in this video makes me just want to delete it, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna face it, yeah, yeah. So this is me today. Um, my classes, I think I told y'all they start on the 13th. Damn, it's the 10th. Well, it's midnight, so tomorrow is about to be the 10th. It's the 10th. 11, 12, 13. So I got 3 more days, legitly. I better enjoy it while I can, because then I'm gonna be juggling work classes and the babies. Ooh wee, but I know I can do it. Tough girl, boss power, baby. I can do it. I can do it. I'm gonna do it. So, yeah, that my hustle of saving and working every day, saving up on top of all the good money I done saved up already. Busting my ass to get my own place. Right now, I'm in mommy's abode, her castle, and she always mad that I keep myself into this little one room bedroom area because of course I'm welcome to the whole house, but I just have to have my own space and she knows that. And so, you know, yeah. I'm trying to see if I forgot anything. I think that's it. All right, y'all. Until next time, I'm gonna go lay my butt down, watch me a movie, and I hope y'all have a blessed night or morning, wherever you at, whenever it is that you watch this video. I wish y'all well, and until next time, okay?